Well, hello there, YouTube. Mr. Gibson Guy here. Thank you for coming by the channel. I'm going to be doing a video that's different than all the other videos that I've done. I'm just going to do this one time, but I wanted to make a disclaimer at the outset of this. The title of this video is Thinking Rationally About Climate Change Theory. Now, I say this because I am not taking a stand one way or another. Anything that talks about the climate of the planet is obviously a very large subject and a very complex subject. And I honestly question significantly whether this is something that we even understand enough that we can make a positive change to it, or is there something that needs to be changed. Some people demand that they do, and those people, the one thing that their demands are really short of is explanations on how this would actually help. If there is indeed something that mankind can influence and have an effect on, or whether it's significant or not. But I just want to say that I'm not taking a stand one way or another. I'm just saying that if this is, then if this really is a real thing, then we should be looking at answers along the lines of what I'm pointing out here. Because we get a lot of things which are scare tactics, making us want to do something, and because it's an emergency, it has to happen. But these things require a lot more thought and consideration. I'll just go right into it here. Former Vice President Al Gore claimed the science is settled as far as global warming, but science is never settled. That's true. Science is continually seeking to disprove itself and come up with other hypotheses. But the science is definitely not settled. We've hardly even cracked the surface of it to find out what it is. Democrats demand that they are always right, and so everyone else who does not comply with their crazy, zany beliefs must be silenced. Democrats cannot get any of their agenda passed by the normal legislative process, because if the public knew what they were up to, they would never support it. Everything has to be done in secret. I'm referring to, for example, Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, back when Congress passed Obamacare. And Pelosi got up to speak to the whole House, and she exclaimed, really to the American people, "We have to pass this bill so we can see what's in it." Well, no bills are secret. This is a representative republic where only the representatives who have the backing of the people, the general population, or their constituency, want them to support it. And that is what a representative republic is all about. Not the last ones to know what we're doing are those lowly people. So everything needs to be exposed, and Democrats tend to not do that, because if they told you what they were really doing, nobody would want it. But let's keep going here. Socialism always fails. And now the totalitarian Democrat-controlled states are failing, and the populations are moving to the red states. Look at the 2020 census. The early projections showed significant population losses across the blue states and population growth across the red states. By law, the final report was supposed to be released before President Trump left office in 2021. But strangely, the Census Bureau census report was delayed until after Trump left office and the White House. Then, once Biden was installed as president, the Census Bureau released their final report, and surprise of surprises, the blue states only lost a handful of congressional seats, and the population gain in the red states ended up being much lower than anticipated. But that's not the end of the story. The story didn't end until just a few weeks ago. The 2020 no, that's the wrong place. I lost my place here. Oh, okay. It's under the line here. Just a couple of weeks ago, the final report from the Census Bureau audit was released. And what do you know? The final results of the 2020 report significantly overcounted Democrat states and significantly undercounted Republican states. In fact, the final corrected numbers track with the preliminary projections. But now the 2020 apportionment has been done, and the Democrats ended up with a bunch of seats that are not legally theirs, it turns out, as far as the population goes. So they kind of did an end run around the law by having the Census Bureau hold up and then change everything around, obviously, because it turns out that the audit showed that they were right the first time. Oh, I like lemonade, especially in the summertime. What does all that have to do with climate change theory? Actually, surprisingly, quite a bit. Discussions on dealing with climate change all very quickly get bogged down with minutiae about CO2, carbon capture, carbon credits, alternative energy sources, etc. But this focuses all our attention on about 3% of the problem, while completely ignoring 97% of the problem. We don't even know exactly what the problem is, but I guarantee you that 97% is what I'm going to mention to you. What is this 97% of the problem that Democrats ignore? The answer: supporting and transporting human existence on the planet. Climate change started out as global warming, but making warming a villain is a very hard sell. After all, a warm environment is a healthy, fertile environment, providing food in abundance for the whole population. Every summer, we don't get to hear this very much, but it's true. Every summer, deaths from warm temperatures, from heat waves, are really negligible. On the other hand, a cold environment is unhealthy, unproductive, and dangerous. Deaths from cold temperatures are significant every winter. We're talking a handful of people die of heat, and hundreds or even thousands of people die from the cold and exposure to it every year. So that makes warming not a very good boogeyman because of that. But there's more than that. Where did I leave off here? Significant, homes in temperate zones require constant heating to raise the inside temperature 30 to 40 degrees for 6 to 9 months of the year. That's a lot of energy. Homes in a subtropical zone require AC to lower the interior temperature 10 to 12 degrees about 6 months out of the year. Further, homes in the Sun Belt can rely on plentiful sunshine to provide free electric power with rooftop solar panels during the heat of the day. Good luck getting power from solar panels during the dark, cold winter months up north. And we have not even touched on the subject of transportation yet. Okay, our President Joe Biden assumed office and quickly demanded car makers must produce 30% electric vehicles by 2030. That means they're not just producing them to make them. He's demanding you and me need to buy stupid, expensive, and useless electric vehicles. Where is that in the Constitution? But expected from a totalitarian dictator, thinks he can just declare what everybody has to do. That's not the way the government works in the United States. That's not representative government. The government is mandating big, heavy, complex, expensive vehicles at a time when we should be exploring small, lightweight, efficient, low-cost vehicles. Why do trucks get bigger and bigger and heavier and more complex and more expensive? We used to make small, inexpensive trucks that people could afford and got pretty good gas mileage. But now it's part of my subject is on my channel, as I have done a number of videos on my Ford Maverick pickup truck. And I have had a lot of success with those videos because they are very hard to buy. They're not expensive, but you have to get on a 6-month or year-long waiting list and wait, and maybe they'll make one for you. Maybe you'll get it, maybe you won't. And that's ridiculous. An inexpensive, small, fuel-efficient pickup truck is something that more and more people should be able to get, but it doesn't work that way with Ford. But this is certainly what we need to be going on here. So let's tie these two subjects together. Is it possible to do that? The Democrats desperately seek to maintain their power, but living under socialism is highly unpopular with the people who choose to vote with their feet. But losing their population robs them of their power. So they chose to fling our border wide open, 1, to get new residents from south of the border, and 2, to try to flood some red states in the south with Central American socialists, try to flip those states to blue. That's real nice. It's all about power, but that flies directly in the face of the claims of a global warming crisis. Now, how does one relate to the other? Well, the one good answer is to declare all territories north of the Mason-Dixon line as uninhabitable, which they are indeed most of the year. The only people allowed into North U.S. and Canada should be miners seeking oil and minerals. Our southern border should become a one-way street, south only. This would destroy the Democrat Party, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. And it would be the greatest thing for all mankind. Reminder here, as far as doing something like this, if Biden can demand we buy EVs by his executive order, why can't Trump demand evacuation of the uninhabitable Northlands? The Indians managed to live there without electricity, and it worked for them. Maybe we can let them have it back again. See how they like it. But that is, if global warming is such a major crisis, doesn't that call for major activities to control it, to stop it, to reverse it? And certainly, if more and more people move south and south and south instead of moving north, we would use less and less and less energy, and there would be more and more and more food, and we wouldn't have these places that are suitable only for geological exploration and looking for resources that can be harvested from them. But that's my story on it. Thank you for watching. I'm sure some people have some comments. Tell me what you think. Leave them down below in the comments. I'd like you to give me a check a thumbs up if this is something you've enjoyed, or if you'd like to see some other stories like this, some other videos. Thanks for joining in. Check out my channel. I have a lot of different subjects. I haven't gone political like this, and I'm trying not to be political here. I may appear to be, but I'm really trying to be neutral on this. I haven't said whether I believe in it or not, but I have said that it's way too complex a subject for maybe anybody to understand. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. This is Mr. Gibson Guy, and I'm out of here.